Hello and welcome. This is Teresa, Crafty Grams. We are here in the craft lair with what's supposed to be a simple project I saw on Seven Plaza, Margareth, and her title or thumbnail or whatever was called, let me plug you in. I didn't plug in my microphone. Shocker. Very hard not to make too much movement. Okay, so anyway, as I was saying, a project to use up an entire paper pad, 12 by 12 paper pad. Well, I don't have many 12 by 12 paper pads anymore that are double sided, and this, in my opinion, requires double sided paper. Of course, you can always make your paper double sided by stenciling or painting or coffee dyeing the other side of it or whatever. But I scrounged up what I have, and this is an ancient, I didn't look at when the publication date was actually, but it was Anna Griffin paper pad. And I cut up the front cover that had the little swatches of the papers inside. Surprised I have any of these. Well, not really. Let me stop telling lies. I'm not surprised I have any of these papers left because I was hoarding them. Yeah, that word again. Hoarding the good stuff. Anyway, so I cut up the front of it that had these swatches on it, and I'm going to use those for these tabs. Okay, so what Margaret did was she took two 12 by 12 pieces of paper, folded each one in half, and then made gussets and closures. This was just one of the closures that she made using this little whale tail tab. She also did, a document style closure. She did some where she just used Velcro strips. And she did hers, like I said, by folding the papers in half, 6 by 6 or 6 by 12 was what you get when you do that. But I didn't like how far this went down into the body of the one behind it. And she also had hers punched to go in a binder. Well, I did leave that little hinge, I guess, there. And I probably will put mine together with rings, but I don't have small rings yet. Anyway, because what I had in mind for using these lovely pieces of paper was for my printouts from Tina at Shabby Dabby Doodah. So these, I think, go along with her vibe very well. And so I made them a little bit bigger, like big enough to hold an 8.5 by 11 letter size or an A4 size pieces of paper, even with the hinge there. So, as you can see, my prototype is wrecked because I thought I'd be very clever and make this an envelope shape like Margaret did on one of hers, but with the refolding I did, it left a gap here, so I thought I'd make the gap look intentional. It's just jacked up. It is jacked up, but I'm still going to use it. Jacked up and all. Okay. So. What are my specific dimensions? Okay. So before I make any of the, what are these things called? The score lines. That's what they're called. Score lines. The measurements are, of course, this one is still 6 by 12. And it also makes a pocket in the back. This one is still one piece of paper just folded in half. And then the other one is folded at, let me see if I can find that line, that end of that paper in this muckety-muck mess. It is 7.5. I folded it at 7.5, and whatever that leaves for the rest of the 12 inches. So let me just start afresh with two other gorgeous pieces of Anna Griffin paper. So as I said, they're double-sided, so the biggest decision I had to make was which sides to put on the outside. So this is how I want this to be, because when you open it, it'll be that lovely floral. Okay, so this one simply gets folded in half. Is that the way I had it? No, I think I want this to be the flat. I'll figure it out in a minute, kids. I will, I promise. Yeah, this is going to be the body of it. So that's in half. Folding a 12 by 12 piece of paper in half. Fascinating viewing. I will burnish it with my bone folder, and I will take it now before I forget again. And gosh, there's always a word I can't remember in every video, and it's the same word repeatedly. I will now score this for that, and it's 3/8 of an inch. So on each side, it's 3/4 of an inch. So the whole hinge will be 3/4 of an inch wide. Okay, and I have my original We Are Makers paper folder cutty thingy. Technical term there, I know. All right, so we're going to open this up. I'm just going to pick a line at random. I have it right now on the 7-inch mark. And that will be, oops, wrong bone folder. It doesn't fit in my grooves. It's not groovy. Yeah, that was required noise making when you're getting the foldy tool out of the slot. Okay, so 7 inches is where I have the crease that I made. So I'm just gonna lightly, so I can see that a little better. And then I'm gonna go to 7 3/4, because we're making this hinge thing 3/4 of an inch wide. So 7 3/4, and then 6 1/4. 6 1/4. Yeah. Okay, that is the extent of my mathing for today. So I'm gonna do that. Go ahead and glue that so it can be drying while I do the rest of it. Fold it back on itself, mostly so I can make sure it's straight, and it's not. See, why does this stuff happen to me? I honestly don't know, and it makes me really frustrated. So we're gonna do this. I'm gonna do this whether the paper wants me to or not. There we go. Folding it up against the straight edge of that helps. Right, so that's the bottom half. Turn it inside out. I am going to do a huge big no-no and just glue right on top of my scoreboard cutty thingy. And yeah, that's a big no-no because I got one scoreboard so gluey and I couldn't get it out of the score lines, and it was a disaster. And so I'm just going to let this one gently rest right now. I'm not going to squish it out on top of the scoreboard. All right, move over so I don't mess you up. I'm going to get a piece of glue book page and squish it all down to one end. Yeah. There we go. And yes, there was some glue seepage. Right. So you sit over there, relax, have some spa time, and dry out. Dry out. Sorry. Okay. Lots of moving about. I'm so sorry for that. So now this one is going to be, what did I say? 7 1/2. I'm gonna score it at 7 1/2 because I have my scory tool out. 7.5. Does it matter? No. 7.5. Zoom. 7.5. Zoom. Okay. Now, I'm going to put that back where it belongs because it's going to get lost in the debris of the minefield. Okay, so is that all I have to do there? Yes. Now I have to put you aside again, and I have several of these things cut out. Like I said, these are all the swatches from the front cover of the paper pad, and there's some circles from another project. I'm gonna stick to this one closure method until I get it right. But no, because I really like the I feel like it's more secure than just flapping it over, but it's also less hassle than the document closure, or she used one, she like tied a ribbon around it. I don't want to have to mess with all that, but I do like the idea of having some sort of a closure that will hold the contents in there. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is find the center of this, which will be 6 inches, right. So 4 and 6 is 10. I just use these middle measurements so I don't have to move the project way off of, you know, out of the field of vision. So that's here. Booyah. And let's see what I want to use. I cut these out before I realized that these were big enough to fold in half and cut correctly. So what do I want to use? What do we want to use? Excuse me, I do beg your pardon. I don't want to use the beige because I have beige things coming up. And I'm not, if you'll notice, I'm not inking anything, not distressing anything. I'm just sort of, you know, using as is because it's for my craft room, not for vintage ephemera. I kind of like that, but do I really? Do I really? Yeah, gonna go for it. It's bold. I like it. And I just have some of these. They don't even have a brand name on them. They're just, you know, whatever was cheapest on Amazon. So put that in there and kapow. There it goes. So yeah, I have not figured out where the best place to mark the center of this thing is to get it lined up in the actual center. So this thing is, the tab is basically 1 inch. So if I mark a 1/2 inch, let me try doing it in the inside. Like so. All right, see, I put it there, put her there, and ink it up. I'm just doing this killing time while that thing dries, because if you don't let it dry, it could pop open while I'm manipulating the rest of the stuff. Hey, look at there, that worked pretty good. Woo! Small win for me. Okay. Now, this is going to go into the slot here, like that. Easier said than done. Yeah. Come on now. There we go. I might have to make that a little bit wider. So yeah, this slot has to be cut before you start putting the gussets in. And yes, it is gusseted. Yeah. So, let me see how this guy feels about life right now. Okie dokie. So, okay. I'm really all over the place in this video. I'm so sorry. I did not do much prep work. It's one of those things where I got really excited and thought instantly, I can so use these for my shabby dabby doodah stuff that I already have printed. I have a ton of it printed. Not a ton, but a lot of it printed. And I think it would be very easy to sort the different, collections into these lovely folders. So the next thing is to remember what measurement I glued this to this. I think it was 3. I think it was 3. Let me see if I can find the overlap here. There to there. Where's my wee ruler? Here's my wee ruler. Let's see. Oh, 2.5. 2 3/4. Why did 2 3/4? How weird is that? I'm so strange sometimes. So, all right. 2 3/4 it is. Oh no. I just go with the flow. Right. So I'm going to lay this here straight. It's a general guideline, right? The big thing is that once I get the glue on, I have to make it straight. Glue is what I need now. So 2 3/4. I'll put the glue there. Oy! And this is going to be largely out of range, probably 2. I'm going to stop at 2.5 in case of, spillage. Seepage is the word I'm looking for. So straight, 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 straight. Is what we're looking for. I don't even know that that's 2 3/4, but it's straight. So there we go. I'm just going to make sure that where'd my scrap piece of paper go? Where did it go? Here it is. That's the big thing, is I just need to make sure this is going to fit in with plenty of room. It's way too big, but you know what? It's okay. Let's make sure that it's the same size as this. It's not. It's way bigger. What in the heck, man? Honest engine, what have I done? Excuse the sniffles. That's like an inch way off. Holy guacamole. The best laid plans are often changed. Boom. There we go. That kind of makes me upset. But it might actually make the creasing in process easier. Oh, man. So, give me this. So this is supposed to be 9 inches from the hinge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't know. IDK. But that is definitely the better height. Okay. Oh me, oh my, oh. Down at the bio. thing with paper, you can't unfold it. You can't uncut it, and you can't unfold it. Right. So here we go with this focaccia bread again. Is that the name of that bread? I don't know. Anyway, this has to be done before you glue this closed, or you're going to cut through the whole works. So I'm going to get my metal ruler that I just had here a second ago. Does anyone else have these problems? Yes, I hope so, because I really don't want to be on this island alone. Right, so I don't know what I'm doing. What am I doing? What am I doing? Here's what I'm doing. Okay, so here's my pencil marks. And I'm going to do them a little bit wider than the other one, and hopefully a little bit straighter. And here's the problem. There's something sticky on my ruler. I can't see what I'm doing because I'm left-handed. I can't see where exactly the other cut is, so I have to really trust my pencil marks. Okay, well, not great, but we'll make it work. Actually, no. Okay, let me close this blade before I do myself a grievous bodily injury. Nice. Let me see. Let me just see. I mean, that's just, I don't know. This is why I don't measure, because numbers and me just don't get along. We just don't. Okay, so there's the skeleton of it, the most important parts, I guess. But now we have the gussets. Okay, so the gussets are pieces of obviously the same paper pad, and they're cut 5 by 4, and then they're scored at 1-inch increments. Okay, and I know you can't see, probably can't see the score lines, but there they are. Score 1, 2, 3, and then you fold them in such a way that the middle is pointing in to the envelope, because if you do it the other way, these are inch and an inch, but if you do them the other way, you lose space, if that makes any sense. You lose some of the width of the pocket. So you do them with the middle pointing towards, which to me it in my brain it should be the other way around, but in reality it's not. So anyway, the point goes in the middle. Hills and valleys goes in towards the So now I have to decide which side of the paper I want. There we go. I think I'm going to have just the pink side to the outside, and this one is not scored. So let's do that on camera. Okay, so yes, that is necessary when you're pulling this little spatula thing out. 1, 2, 3. Booyah. Okay, so I want this on the inside and these on the outside. Like so. Okay. So I'm going to put that back. Get my big girl bone folder out. And then, how did I do that? I want this in and that out. I can't do it any other way. That's how it has to be in Teresa's brain. It has to be that way. Right. Now, for this fussy bit. In. Okay, so I'm going to glue this guy. To here, and I'm just going to use this the line of this hinge as my guideline of where to put this thing, and I'm just going to leave it a little bit above the hinge so I don't impinge on the hinge, and then just a skosh from this edge over here and squish it down pretty good, because you definitely don't want that to come apart. I mean, you could use double-sided tape for this, but, you know, double-sided tape only gives you one chance. No wiggle room. No wiggle room for you with double-sided tape. So, yeah. And I need wiggle room when I'm doing just about any kind of gluing, because I am not always the most precise. Okay, I squish them down as tight as I can, because you have to do this at the same time. You have to do both sides at the same time to the front. So that's 3 pieces of paper you gotta have control over. And I don't have control over much at all. So again, a little generous with the glue on both sides. The moment of truth is upon us. Okay, you ready? Yeah, good job. I'm really happy that went well, because, you know, if things are going to go sideways, they're going to do it while I'm filming. That's just, I'm sure it's one of Murphy's laws. Okay, so yeah, so much for that, making it easier. There we go. Okay, so there is a cute little document holder folder. That pocket there. I am really pleased with this, except for that. I'm gonna get it. I will get it right, I promise. Okay, so now I'm scared to do this again, but what I'm gonna do is, instead, when I did this one, I just randomly measured 2 inches and made that cut there. So there. So that's how I expose these corners and fluffed it up. So what I'm going to do this time is use the top of this as my, like, don't go any higher than that. And actually what I think I'm going to do is go to the top of the gusset here. You can see this is the front, that's the gusset, this is the back of this page, and this is the back of this part. So I'm going to go to the top of the gusset, and that's where I'm going to make my sort of envelope effect-ish. Faux envelope, fonvelope. I like that word, fonvelope. All right, I'm going to take this out again, and once again with my handy dandy thingy, cutty thingy, I'm going to find that pencil mark. I have to stand up for this. Find my pencil mark and just go to what I call the shoulder of this thing. And cut it. Cut it out. Sorry, I had a Joey moment. Y'all are probably too young to know who Joey is. Uncle Joey from Full House. Oh, fiddlesticks. I missed just a skosh there. Let's see if I can... Good enough. Okay, so that one is closer to correct. Gosh, I'll get there. I will get there. Well, maybe this is not my favorite kind of closure. There we go. But I think it really looks pretty. Right. Do we have time for one more? Yes. So we're going to do one more. I'm going to do the grayish one. One of the grayish ones. Not that one. I'm going to do this one. Because I love this paper. Okay. And let me see if I can remember how I want this one to go. I want that to be the inside, definitely, and probably that. Oh no, definitely that. It's flocked. It's like a velvety, and it's just not my thing anymore. But this one's going to be dead boring, isn't it? No, because that'll jazz it up. And I mean, I can, no rule against decorating these once they're assembled. I'm just going to use this to butt this up against, make sure, as sure as I can, that it's straight. Ooh, sorry, that thing just snapped into place. It snapped shut, which is fine. Now I will start from the middle and work out. See, and it still isn't straight. It still isn't straight, and I'm gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. There is no crying in crafting. When actually there really is a lot of crying in crafting. Alright, well that's about as good as I can get it. Okay, now bring back this cutty foldy thing. And I am going to... Do I really need to open this up? I really do need to open this up. Okay. I'm going to put this on a line. Maybe I should do it that way. But that's not. well this is going to work. So it's at 6, 6 3/4. I didn't think about this flocking. And 5 1/4. I hope the flocking does not prevent it from sticking to itself. We shall see. Put you to the side again for now. Put this thing back in its little holder. And glue. And glue, and glue, and glue, and glue, and glue. And pray that that sticks without issue. Where's my glue paper? My blue seepage paper. Okay. Sit over there and relax while I make the flap. All right, let's see. We're going to try this yet again. Okay. This is, I'm going to actually use this thing this time. So I folded this. I'm trying to find where this pink paper ends right here. So I'm going to fold this at, actually that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fold this at yeah, I need 2 rulers because I don't know why. Well, that says to fold it at 6, but that can't be right. 6 1/4. Is that right? Oh. Honestly. So yeah, it's 5 1/2. 5 1/2. So I'm going to fold this at 5 1/2. Fingers crossed that this is actually the correct measurement. 5 1/2. Let's see. Time will tell, right? Oh, I love that paper. Love it. I'll put this back where it goes before it gets lost. Okay. So now we're going to pick out a tab. We're going to pick out a tab. It's too matchy-matchy now that I'm looking at it. What do we think? I like it. I'm going with it. Okay. So here we go. There. frame for that, but I tried not to be. I didn't try at all. I just did, okay? So I'm sorry if that was out of frame. I gotta clean this tip off again before I... There we go, okay. Right. Try to get these shoulders square, straighten your shoulders, and lined up with my pencil mark and all the things. Like that. Ah! Okay. No damage done. Okay. I'll bring back my other half. Right here. And see. What did I say this needed to be? I don't know. I don't know. It's wrong again. Would you believe that? Look at that. How do I keep messing that up? Oh, well, I haven't messed it up yet because I haven't glued it yet. Wow, let's just forget that ever happened. Okay, so there's where I need it to be on this. So it is, okay, so yeah, we're at 2.5 inches-ish. Yeah, I'm doing it a little short of the 2.5, as I explained before, for that, you know. But I'm still putting the paper at the 2.5, and I'm trying very hard to get the paper straight at the 2.5. Like so. Okay. I mean, I love that paper. Have I said that enough, how much I love that paper? Love that paper. Okay, I'm very sad that that happened when I scored it, but it is old paper. And that's the first one that did that, so that's pretty impressive, actually. All right, next what I'm gonna do is make my little slot. And I think I'm going to do it a little smarter this time and make larger pencil marks because I can always erase them, but that will make it easier for cutting. So I'm going to put everything as straight as I can. Into the envelope itself, or whatever we're calling this folder. Sorry, that was glue coming unstuck. I'm going to put this under there. Should have been doing that, because there is no guarantee that even though I ask for a new cutting mat. No guarantee I'll get one. I didn't really do myself any favors with that pencil line thing, did I? I cannot talk and cut at the same time. It's just impossible. Okay, let me get the pencil lines off of there. Right. Let's see how that does. Oh, Lord have mercy. Thank you. What did I do? Alright, that stuck to the dadgummit all the heck and back. Oh, let me shut that. Goodness gracious. Oh, and I put it too low. I'm gonna cry. I am going to cry. Buckets. I'm gonna cry buckets. Okay, so it needs to be higher. Higher and higher. Sorry, everything reminds me of a song, even when I'm ready to cry. All right, time for the pencil again. Yeah, I can barely see them, but that's okay. That was really doo-doo. This is really doo-doo. Really, really doo-doo. Doo-doo, doo-doo, doo-doo. And it's still barely. Because I went the wrong way. Glory be to St. Peter. What I'm going to end up doing is putting a sticker or something to reinforce it and then move it down. Is that what I need to do? No, I need to move it up that way. Why? I have to put a patch there, but something that doesn't look like I had to make a patch. I don't know why I was looking at that because this is already here. It'll buff, as my kids say, it'll buff. We're starting from scratch with a patch. Jesus, fix it. I am a mess. I am a certifiable mess. Oh, well, I shouldn't have covered up the... Let me put something underneath. This hole works. Not bad center-wise. Ah. Better quit while I'm ahead, right? Okay, find your Zen. Sorry, that was right in your face. Okay, so I need it to be here and here. Not measuring anything, just trying to make a straight hash mark. Pray for me. Well, that was a problem of my own creating. That's what that was. Look how far off I was. Ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Now, I mean, I say that's how far off I was, but am I right this time? Finally. It looks like it. Oi, come on now. Okay, better, but not perfect. All right, let me get my little gussety things. Let's see if they're already scored. They are not. These are not even the same. Yes, they are. Okay, let me score this one really quickly. At every inch. So that'll be 1, 2, and 3. I think I can do that. 1, 2, 3. And I want that to be inside, this to be outside. Put that away. I'm done with the pencil. Uh-oh. Sorry about that, if y'all can hear it. That is my reminder to feed my cat. He can wait a minute. Oh, glory be to St. Peter. Okay, I want this to be on the outside. So that point needs to be on the inside. And these need to go this way. It needs to make a W when you're looking at it. Not an M, a W. Okay. I may end up gluing that closed because even though it will make the back pocket shallow, I only want the back pocket for ephemera and scraps when I'm finished with whatever or whatever. You know what I mean. If I'm cutting out stuff, getting ready to do a project, I want to put the fussy cut stuff in there and not have it fall all the way down here. Right? Right. I understand what I mean. And at this point, that's gonna have to be enough. Okay. Oopie. Squish that down as flat as it'll stay so that it'll make it easier to glue the front flap. Youpie. Okay. I almost did it wrong. Almost, but I caught myself. I caught myself. I need to clean that up a bit, if it will clean. I can't find my glue eraser at the moment. No, I can't find it. Yeah, so sometimes in the process of cleaning up, things get messier before they get better. And that's where I'm at now on this whole double, like this is a gaming desk, a computer gaming desk. So it's for like 2 people to be playing against each other in the same room maybe, or two people to be playing online with other people. I don't know. But my thought was I have a working desk and then a desk over there. But right now, trying to get both of these desks, whoopsie, in order or to keep them in order is the challenging bit. Yes, indeed, that is challenging. Okay, so anyway, that's how that one's gonna go. And I'm just going to round these corners. I may eventually come back and get brave and try and do the envelope bit again, but not right now. I just don't have it in me right now. And that's kind of puny looking, but that's life. That's life. See, I stopped singing on the camera, lady. There. 1, 2, 3. Wow. And I didn't even do this one on camera. So 2. That seems to be the thing. Whether it's a bigger project or a smaller project, I can only do 2 in a reasonable length of time on the video. Because, I mean, stuff happens. If stuff's going to happen, it's going to happen to me. And it's going to happen while I'm trying to film a video. There you go. So, thanks for watching. I hope it wasn't too painful to watch. Visit my Etsy store, craftygramsus.etsy.com. And I am on Instagram as crafty_grams. So, I'm really bad about remembering to post on Instagram. But I do occasionally put stuff on Instagram. So, yeah, thanks for watching. And I'll use Cindy's Spread Joy, hashtag Spread Joy. And see you in the next one. And until then, craft and joy, y'all.